Hey guys, happy Wednesday. It's Joe, and it's time for a Pikkit with Joe. We've got two great games on the ice tonight with the Boston Bruins looking to close out the series with the Florida Panthers. The Panthers playing in a game that if they do not show up 100% or 110% tonight, they will be eliminated. We also have the Seattle Kraken rolling into Colorado, looking to take advantage of the Colorado Avalanche without Cale Makar. So we're going to be breaking down both of these games. Let's just have a little look at what we saw yesterday. The New York Islanders able to pull off the win and stay alive versus the Carolina Hurricanes. Now, this is a little bit of concern for the Carolina Hurricanes, who ultimately have been better at home than on the road. So we will see the next game in New York. We'll see what the Islanders are able to do in Game 6 in that one. Minnesota did fall to the Dallas Stars, and I loved what we saw out of the Dallas Stars yesterday. Jake Ottinger played absolutely phenomenal. He got the shutout win, 4-0 win for the Dallas Stars, really hoping the Dallas Stars can close it out in the next game, with the LA Kings falling to the Edmonton Oilers in a game that they just were not giving it 110%. Edmonton, phenomenal out there on the ice. The first period was quite close, 3-2 win for Edmonton in that first period, pushing us nicely over that 1.5. I tell you guys, the books keep giving us great value, not much juice, -120 to -130 on the over 1.5 in that first period. You got to just keep riding that until this series is over, as these teams really pushing it. Now, I hope we do see Game 7 between these two, but I think Edmonton probably closes it out in Game 6. From what we saw last night in Game 5, they just look phenomenally strong out there. So, guys, those were yesterday's games. I hope you enjoyed them. Good afternoon, Matt. Thank you for being here today. I hope you enjoyed those games. I hope you made some money. We were able to get the under 1.5 between the Islanders and the Canes in the first period, the over 1.5. The under 1.5 didn't hit between the Wild and the Stars. That one hit too. I was disappointed to see, but the Wild, they just didn't show up defensively. And then we did get the over 1.5 between the LA Kings and the Edmonton Oilers. So those first periods, 2 out of the 3 cash for us nicely. Let's look at today's games. The Florida Panthers taking on the Boston Bruins, 7:00 Eastern matchup here. Now the Bruins -245 on the money line, +205 for the Florida Panthers, total of 6.5. I was actually surprised that this total did go from 6 up to 6.5. We've seen the Boston Bruins so strong defensively. You'd expect their best defense to come out tonight, but I do in a way understand the movement of the line up to 6.5. As we do see a Florida Panthers team that must win this one. Bruins up 3-1. The Panthers need to show the performance that we saw in Game 2 out of them, where they found the back of Omar's net. Now, it was a 6-3 win in Game 2 for the Florida Panthers. It's been the only game they've been able to produce the goals in. Every other game, they've been held to 2 or less goals. So the Boston Bruins looking to come out phenomenally strong in this one. I would look at their team total over 2.5 today. That's coming in at +100. It is pivotal here for the Florida Panthers to get scoring in this one. Now, we know Boston's defense is phenomenally strong, but Omar really has been the true indicator or the true leader of why this team has won for the Boston Bruins. I really do think the Florida Panthers have played better 5-on-5 penalty. They need to stay out of the frickin' box, because I tell you, they're giving Boston all of these opportunities. Boston in the last game went 2-4 on the power play, 1-4 for the Florida Panthers on the power play. So if we can see a Panthers team that I know Matthew Tkachuk likes to get under people's skin, but if he can come out and let the Boston Bruins erupt instead of the Florida Panthers erupting, they can capitalize on the power plays. We do have what I do think could be a game in this one. Like I said, I do think the Florida Panthers have been playing better 5-on-5 hockey. Now it looks like Patrice Bergeron should be back in the lineup for the Boston Bruins tonight, so they definitely will be happy to have him back. Tyler Bertuzzi has been playing phenomenal for the Boston Bruins. I definitely think he is who you should be looking at for his points tonight. You can take him over or 1+ points tonight, so he just has to get that one at minus 135. He's had 4 assists and 6 points so far in this series. So Bertuzzi, a big addition to the Boston Bruins here in this playoff series. So he's been absolutely phenomenal. Looking at the Florida Panthers, you have to look at Matthew Tkachuk. He just needs to keep his head on him. He's cool and collective in these games. He needs to cause Boston to get the penalties for the Florida Panthers to stay in this. I also think he needs to find the back of the goal tonight, so I would be looking at him. Sam Bennett, though, someone you also have to look at for the Florida Panthers. He's been phenomenal as an underdog for the Panthers, scoring in 4 of his last 5 games as an underdog for the Florida Panthers. So I think between Sam Bennett and Matthew Tkachuk, definitely 2 players you look at their shots on goal as well. You also have to look at Matthew Tkachuk's just being able to get things done out there. So I do think points and goals for Matthew Tkachuk, definitely a strong way to go. Good afternoon, Larry, Pasternak, and Rantanen. Anytime goals for me. I do love both of those players for the anytime goals as well, Larry. Think very solid ways to go in this game. So this is going to be a great one, you guys. You have to look at the defense of the Boston Bruins. They are allowing these shots to come in on Ullmark. That last game, 44 shots the Boston Bruins put on Ullmark. He stood on his freaking head in that game. So this game, I do look for the Florida Panthers to be able to find the back of his net. I don't think Ullmark has as strong of a performance, although it's Ullmark. We know he's phenomenally strong out there. I just think with the grit of the Florida Panthers, we're going to get those empty net, not the empty net goals, but we're going to get the extra man on the ice. I do think Florida keeps digging to the very end. They do not want to head out golfing. This is a team that wants to move on. They're going to give Boston everything they got tonight. So take the Florida Panthers team total over 2.5 at plus 100. Am I sprinkling on the money line? Oh, you guys, it will go against my ticket. I do have the Boston Bruins. You guys know I took them for the sweep in 4 at plus 490. I also took them 4 in 5 at plus 290. So in this game, if the Florida Panthers end up pulling it off, maybe I should hit it at plus 205, kind of hedge my bet with the Boston Bruins in 6 as well. So, or in 5. So we'll see. We'll see what I end up doing getting to the window on the Florida Panthers. Alex Lyon has been strong in goal for them. I actually really like what we've seen out of Alex Lyon. Ullmark and Alex Lyon, I'd look at both their save shots on goal. More so Ullmark in this one, because we know the Florida Panthers will be sending every single shot that they can onto his net. The late game of the night, 9:30 Eastern matchup, the Seattle Kraken versus the Colorado Avalanche. You guys, we have minus 180 here for the Colorado Avalanche, plus 155 for the Seattle Kraken, total of 5.5. Low total in this one. The Seattle Kraken desperate to get this win. Now, the series is tied 2-2 apiece, but I do think with Cale Makar out of the lineup for the Colorado Avalanche, and yes, he's out of the lineup for that nasty hit on McCain. I think he deserved that suspension full-heartedly. He knew the play was over when he hit McCann there, and I do think he deserved to be out. So it was a dirty hit. You guys know I like Cale Makar. I do like Seattle's advantage without Cale Makar in the lineup. Not only is he strong on the defensive side of the puck, but he's strong on the offensive side of the puck. We've talked about Cale Makar, how strong he is all season. He was strong last season as well. Pivotal in the playoffs here. So him on suspension, I do think, is a nice opportunity for the Seattle Kraken to go up 3-2 in this series. You guys know I love that. Plus 155 in this one. I'm not turning down the Seattle Kraken here. But if you look at some props here for the Colorado Avalanche, I think Rantanen needs to go over 1.5 points tonight. That's coming in at plus 120. He's had 4 goals in the last 2 games and 1 assist. So I do see those points coming in for Rantanen. Seattle's also been striking first in these games, you guys. So if you think Seattle can strike first in this one, go up in the first period, I don't mind that. But I do think we go over the 1.5 in the first period. And you've got to think that Colorado also is like, hey, we can't let Seattle score first, and we'll see a Colorado team motivated on their home ice to come out and score first. So I don't love the Kraken here, in the first period, but I do love that over 1.5. I think that is a solid way to go. The over 1.5 coming in around, sorry, I had those odds in front of me and I changed over here to just look at some of those shots on goal. So the over 1.5 in the first period is coming in at -118. And I do like that. I think this is a great way to go. The over 1.5. We've seen high scoring first periods in 3 of 4 of these games so far. So it's a great way to go. Goran, good to see you here. You're liking your Boston Bruins on the money line and Man City. Goran, it is wonderful to see your name pop up. I wish you all the best. Let's go, Man City. I'm going to tell you on that. So not sure I can take the Bruins here. I've already got a ticket on them in 5, so I'm kind of leery of putting some more money on the Bruins, but I'll tell you on Man City, that's for sure. Dabby Cab, nice to see you pop up here as well. Thank you for being here. Let's make some freaking money today, that is for sure. So you guys, that is what I'm liking in these games. I think you can look at Grubauer again. Now, in the last game, the Colorado Avalanche only had 22 shots on goal, so we were unable to catch Grubauer's save shots on goal. But I do think this is a game where we see the offenses really find a way in this one. Now, Georgiev here, he faced 43 shots in the last game. Seattle just firing at will. Now with McCann out, we will see less shots. He was so productive offensively for this team. But I do think, again, we see these shots come raining in. Last game, we cashed this one to go to overtime. We cashed the Seattle Kraken to win the game. Let's do it again. Give me OT in this one again. I don't think this is an easy win for Colorado like the books are thinking. -180 for Colorado when this series is tied is absolutely crazy. The value is all on the Seattle Kraken here. So give me the Seattle Kraken for the win. Give me a sprinkle on OT in this game. 3-2 score. Can we have another 3-2 win here for the Seattle Kraken? I absolutely do think we can. I'm a little worried though with this total 5.5. I think it does have the opportunity to, if it doesn't go to overtime, hit 6, and if it goes to overtime, hit 7. So what I'm looking at here is if we don't go to overtime, we see the Seattle Kraken up. Colorado pull their goalie. The Seattle Kraken get that empty netter. 4-2 win for the Seattle Kraken. Now, if it goes to overtime, I think what happens is we have that 3-2 style game. We see the Seattle or the Colorado Avalanche or the Seattle Kraken, one of these teams pull their goalie, score with the extra man on the ice. This one goes to overtime. We hit 7 goals. So that's what I'm looking at in this one, you guys. I'm staying off that total. The only total I'll hit is the first period to go over. So if we're going to build a parlay, I do have faith in the Dogs tonight. More faith in the Seattle Kraken, of course, than the Florida Panthers. I think you could look at the Seattle Kraken plus the 1.5 with the Florida Panthers. Team total over 2.5 in this one. You could buy it down and you're going to get less value. But I do think there's 3 goals out of the Florida Panthers. They desperately need these 3 goals tonight. And I know desperate teams don't win. We could see the Boston Bruins close out this series tonight. But I think either way, even if the Boston Bruins close it out, I do think we see the Florida Panthers get 3 goals in this one. So I like the Dogs, you guys. I think they have every ability to make us some money in this game tonight. First half full time GSW. Okay. You know what GSW, first half full time. I like it, Goran. You guys, make sure you tell Goran. He knows his soccer, that is for sure. He knows his hockey too. So he's all around great capper over there. You guys, these are going to be 2 awesome games. I really am going to be sad when this series between Boston and Florida is done. I hope I cash my 5 ticket, but I don't know. Boston, if they overlook, because they've had a couple days off. I don't know, you guys. I got not a good feeling about my in 5 ticket. Oh, Golden State Warriors, first half full time. Goran, I was drawing such a blank when I looked at GSW at first. I was like, what soccer team is that? You are talking the Golden State Warriors first half full game, and I don't know if I love it. Golden State, the Sacramento Kings, I think they get off to a hot start. I'd be looking at the Kings first half. Golden State full game. But Steph Curry, so phenomenal out there. I think we see Fox still take the court. That's going to be a great one. You guys, Goran knows his basketball as well. So hit him up on the Twitter machine. Goran, drop your Twitter link for everyone over there as well. Okay, so you guys, recap. The Florida Panthers, I do think they'll get over 2.5 goals in this one. I'm going to lean on the over because I do think this could be a 3-4 style game for the Boston Bruins. Could this one go to overtime? Absolutely. We're going to see a Florida Panthers team dig so phenomenally strong, backs against the wall elimination game. I'm looking at the first period money line for the Florida Panthers. Let me have them come out of the gate phenomenally hot. That is a plus 158. You guys know I love that plus money. Give me Matthew Tkachuk's save shot, or not saved, shots on goal over 3.5. Give me Matthew Tkachuk for an anytime goal. Sam Bennett, I think, is another one you need to look at for the anytime goal. Tyler Bertuzzi over 0.5 point tonight. So 1+ points at minus 135 for the Boston Bruins. Bergeron expected back in the lineup. I do expect him to be impactful as soon as he gets back on that ice tonight. I would look at Alex Lyon for his save shots on goal to the over. I'd also look at Ullmark for his save shots to the over. I think this is going to be an extreme offensive game. I know a lot of people expecting the Boston Bruins to really lock down defensively, and I do think they'll lock down defensively, but the Florida Panthers still put 44 shots on Ullmark in the last game. I do think this is a nice, easy over on Ullmark's save shots on goal here, just because the Florida Panthers are going to be firing like crazy in this one, no matter what the Boston Bruins defense does. The Seattle Kraken, Grubauer, I do think he faces more shots. Colorado was limited in their shots in the last game. I think Georgiev faces right around what he faced the last time. I'd take both of these goalies to the over on their save shots as well. Feel like a homer taking all goalies over on their save shots, but I do think they're coming in. I think there is a huge possibility Seattle pulls off the win again at plus 155 to plus 160. So much value. I think the possibility of overtime at plus 380 is beautiful. Overtime again in this one. I think the Seattle Kraken are going to take advantage of Cale Makar not being on the ice. So give me the Seattle Kraken for the game. Give me overtime in this one. Give me the over 1.5 in the first period to continue that trend of high scoring first periods. And Rantanen on the Colorado Avalanche, especially with Cale Makar out. Give me him over 1.5 points on the ice tonight at plus 160. Like I said, 4 goals in 2 games with 1 assist in there as well. So this is going to be a crazy one. If you like the Kraken in the first period, you guys know I'm hitting the Kraken in the first period as well. Plus 158. Give me both dogs in the first period. I love that parlay together. You're getting plus 155 to plus 160 on both of these dogs in the first period. That's going to be a money maker if that hits, you guys. You could take both dogs plus 0.5 in the first period, but I don't think you need it. I think both of these dogs come out so extremely crazy out there on the ice tonight. So you're going with Golden State double results. First period, both games will have at least 2 goals. Yeah, Larry, both of these games go over 1.5 in the first period. You could parlay that together as well. If you're looking at which game both teams to score, I think you could look at both teams to score in both of these first periods as well. But I really do think it is the Florida Panthers and the Seattle Kraken who walk away with the wins in the first period. So I do like both those teams on the money line in the first period, more so than the over 1.5. But I think the 1.5, especially between the Seattle Kraken and the Colorado Avalanche, is where you want to hit it. But you guys, I want to wish you all the best in all of your bets. Let's make some freaking money on the ice tonight. I will talk to you guys later. Have a great night.